Days of Our Lives fans are in for a shock as Jude reveals his new name, leaving Nicole devastated. This heartbreaking news only adds to Eric's heartbreak as he struggles to come to terms with the truth. Ron Carlivati makes a comeback with new material. Head writer teases story twists and major reveals. Greetings to all Days of Our Lives fans. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates. Days of Our Lives spoilers. EJ's decision to rename baby causes heartache for Eric and Nicole in the latest Days of Our Lives spoilers. EJ DiMera is determined to give his baby a fresh start, leading him to choose a new name with Nicole's help. Despite Nicole's initial reluctance to change the baby's name from Jude, EJ is firm on picking a completely new name. While Nicole eventually agrees to EJ's wishes, this decision may deepen Eric Brady's heartbreak. Eric and Sloan Peterson Brady had their own struggles in agreeing on a name for their baby, settling on Jude after the patron saint of lost causes. Seeing EJ and Nicole renaming their baby could reopen old wounds for Eric, leaving him even more devastated. There was a time when Eric lost stopgap on getting a father, but also Jude came on and fulfilled that dream. Now that Eric's daddy status has been ripped down, it's redundant cruel to change Jude's name too. In some ways, it's like wiping out all those months Eric spent minding for Jude. Although Nicole would have preferred to be raising Jude herself, she knows Eric is a victim and appreciates the way he watched for her little boy. That said, Jude arguably sounds like a free-spirited hippie who'd grow up to do commodity artsy that EJ wouldn't authorize of. EJ would no doubt like a more traditional name that's more applicable for a DiMera who could take charge of the family business one day. During the week of June 3 to 7, Days spoilers say Nicole will have an emotional discussion with Eric, one that could involve broaching the content off this name change. Nicole was burgled of the chance to pick her son's name ahead, so Eric might offer his blessing on changing it. Indeed, if he's beyond devastated deep down. This could make the loss feel indeed more real for Eric, who's dealing with major heartbreak after surrendering Jude. Although Slim will consider coming clean about Eric being Jude's bio-pater, it doesn't look like she'll go through with it. Of course, EJ is lying about being the father, so he really shouldn't get a say-so in all this. When the whole verity comes out, Nicole will probably go back to calling the little Joe Jude, along with Daddy Eric. Anyhow, our Days prognostications point to EJ facing some consequences for his deception sooner or laterally. Days of Our Lives spoilers say some curveballs are still to come for Eric and Nicole, so stay tuned for updates on their response to the true maternity news. Days of Our Lives spoilers have revealed that Ron Carlivati's material has made a triumphant return, with the head writer previewing upcoming story changes and big reveals. After eagerly anticipating the episode that aired on May 31st, Carlivati's own writing is officially back in action, putting an end to the strike writers' content. Despite returning to work in October after the Writers Guild of America strike, Days films months in advance, but now Carlivati's new material is finally hitting the screen. In an interview with TV Insider, Carlivati addressed misconceptions and teased what viewers can expect now that he's back at the helm of the writing team. For starters, Carlivati clarified that he didn't leave any kind of companion behind for the temporary pens to follow. Days substantially had the templatoon stretch effects out and keep Carlivati's overall bends in play as long as possible. Still, they eventually did have to make some story opinions that Carlivati wasn't involved in making. From January to May, those weren't my stories. I had nothing to do with those, Carlivati said. Carlivati didn't get a chance to write the morning of the baby switch story reveal, but he did make one significant change that suckers will see in his first occasion back. It turns out the strike pens were going to have Sloan Peterson Brady exit the oil without ever having a sweepstakes with Nicole DiMera. Carlivati admitted he allowed that was nuts, so he rewrote it to include the Sloan and Nicole battle that played out on Friday, May 31. Days spoilers say Eric Brady will also find out he's Jude Brady's natural father in the coming occurrences, and that was commodity Carlivati enjoyed getting to pen himself. Of course, Xander Cook doesn't know he's Victor Kiriakis' natural son yet, so Carlivati was suitable to take the lead on that disclosure, which obviously involves Alex Kiriakis and Theresa Donovan as well. Plus, Carlivati wrote Maggie Kiriakis and Konstantin Melanis' imminent marriage blow-up, so Konstantin's downfall will be another huge moment for Days of Our Lives observers. The strike pens have formerly laid the route for Gabby Hernandez DiMera, last played by Camila Banus, to get out of captivity, but Ron Carlivati is taking over from then and will be at the helm. Formerly Gabby eventually scores her freedom. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Cherry Jimenez is set to make her debut as Gabby recast by the end of June, so we'll bring you further story prognostications and updates on any other casting news. Days of Our Lives promo next week. Theresa and Brady heat up, but Alex busts in on them. Days of Our Lives promo for the week of June 3rd through June 7th, 2024 teases marriage chaos, passionate hassles, and a shocking disclosure. Theresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, and Brady Black partake in violent moment, while Alex Kyriakis walks in on them. Plus, Alex and Kristen DiMera annul on a former decision they made on Days of Our Lives. Meanwhile, Rafe Hernandez confronts DA Melinda Trask over her involvement in a baby-snatching scheme. The Kyriakis manse serves as the background where Maggie Corton Kyriakis and Konstantin Meliumis plan their espousal. Meanwhile, the DiMera manse houses a heated argument between Eric Brady and Sloane Peterson. In a thrilling turn of events, Chad DiMera confronts Clyde Weston with a stunning claim. It's about the supposed death of Abigail Devereaux. As this week's Days of Our Lives unfolds, fidelity is tested, secrets are revealed, and connections hang in the balance. The forthcoming occurrences promise a roller coaster lift of feelings with trueness that could change life in Salem ever. Upcoming on Days of Our Lives in the next 2 weeks, Chad's investigation into Abby, Brady and Theresa get caught, and Harris prevents Ava from making a deadly mistake. Additionally, Rafe's arrest attempt on Melinda Trask hits a snag as she tries to use Gabby's past to her advantage. Meanwhile, Sloane almost reveals a secret about Jude's paternity, but EJ's return will prevent her from doing so. Ava and Lucas pressure Rebecca for information on Clyde, leading to a tense confrontation. Stay tuned for all the drama unfolding in Salem. Harris Michaels will stop Ava, but he'll have a new problem on his hands when fortified Chad DiMera shows up and threatens Clyde next. Before Chad can pull the detector, Clyde will drop a major disclosure on him and contend Abigail DiMera is alive. Other Days spoilers say Kristen DiMera will leave Alex Kyriakis since she's just not interested in pursuing further than this little fling. Alex was delightful in bed for a while, but Kristen will be over this arrangement and will push him to see that Theresa Donovan is the one he really wants. That may be true, but Alex will face a stunner when he finds Theresa and Brady Black in the middle of some erupting bedroom passion. Of course, Alex agreed this was an open relationship, so he can't really condemn Theresa for taking advantage of the benefits like he did. Perhaps Theresa and Alex will eventually have a talk that leads to them truly committing to each other. Over with Sarah Horton, she'll try to get Xander Cook on board with an idea related to their marriage. Xander won't be an addict of it, so this may involve Sarah's attempt to invite his mama. Still, Sarah will get in touch with someone from Xander's history, so she may suppose she knows best and reach out to Xander's mama about their espousal anyway. In the meantime, a different marriage form will get underway. Once Maggie Kyriakis, John Black, and Steve Johnson get the embezzlement evidence they need, it'll be time to spring Konstantin Meliumis' trap. Konstantin will anticipate to say, "I do," and marry into some serious Kyriakis plutocrat, but he won't know the real prenup is still complete. And he won't see his arrest coming assuming either. Maggie will probably arrange for the Bobbies to tote Konstantin off in the middle of the marriage, so that'll leave him fuming during the week of June 10 to 14. Although Theresa will worry about Konstantin exposing her part in their scheme together, he may keep his mouth shut, substantially to avoid making effects any worse for himself. There'll be some new Robert Bobby Stain Aka Everett Lynch developments as well now that Bobby has agreed to treatment. Bobby claimed he'd know he let Everett out again, but Stephanie Johnson will hope it's not true. Since Bobby is enough slippery character, we won't be surprised if he disappears from the sanitarium and causes further trouble. Meanwhile, Gabby's freedom will inch closer, so Melinda may make some bold moves and try to keep Rafe satisfied so he won't rat her out for the bogus relinquishment. Eventually, Chad will most probably probe Clyde's claims about Abigail's survival. Annalyn McCord is set to debut soon, but her character name will apparently be Marin. This may be a situation where Marin insists she's not Abigail despite looking just like her, at least from the perspective of Chad and other Salemites who can't tell the difference between Marcy Miller and a recast. Our Days of Our Lives prognostications point to this look-alike story coming with plenitude of twists and turns, so there could fluently be some explanation like altered recollections if Marin indeed turns out to be Abigail. Days of Our Lives spoilers say the coming 2 weeks will bring some surprises, so stay tuned for updates on all the shocking moments ahead. Thanks for watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.